She appeared in my life like a dream. She appeared in distant like a prayer I had.
Just move with me. Somebody please set me free. Baby, can you see my pain? I'm dancing in the lonely rain. And just another memory. Somebody please let me be. Baby, can you see my rain? And tell me when you feel my pain, pain.
What's going on with adolescents today? Too much fuckery, nonsense, leading to disobey. See, the TV screens are rotting the brain. Thanks society for giving themselves migraines and anxiety.
Alright. What up, everybody? This is AZ126. We got another Arizona artist here. We have...
Syrin.
And where are you from?
I am born and raised from Phoenix, AZ, Arizona.
Alright. And if they like the intro song that I didn't tell you, I always put a song in the very beginning. If they like that, tell them where to find your music.
You can find my music on SoundCloud under Syrin, Syrin, all capitalized. And my project is actually releasing everywhere in a couple of days. So Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, Deezer, Tidal, etc., YouTube.
5706.
5706.
How long does it take to upload shit everywhere?
So
I only put mine on YouTube.
I was able to upload it on SoundCloud, the entire project. That didn't take long. To distribute it through like all the other music apps, you have to go through like certain sites, and it usually takes a good few days. So
There's gonna be, somebody's gotta, damn. You know, that's a hustle right there. Just like, look, just hire me. I'll just put it on everything for you.
Yeah.
I'll take that time out of your day.
yeah, so I usually just do everything myself. One of my main producers, Toxic, though. Shout out Toxic.
Yeah, he produced a couple of your songs on there. 3 of them, I think.
Yeah, he produced 3. He's a DJ producer and rapper, and he's
Just
super.
follow him.
Yeah, so he helps me a lot with, like when it comes to putting stuff together like this, because he's more.
He's got the rhythm down already.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so I had to go through a couple sites, and so it should be everywhere. Hopefully by tomorrow, if I like stop procrastinating. But it's on SoundCloud right now. My project is on SoundCloud. So.
Hey, that's life. Yeah, no, my stuff's only on YouTube, so I want to put it on other stuff. When I used to have a podcast with my friend back in Tucson, it was on some random website, and then all of a sudden it was on iCloud or iTunes.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even know how it got to iTunes. I didn't put it there. They didn't put it there. So sometimes I guess if you do put it on a random website, it just
The internet's
auto
weird.
uploads. Yeah, it's a
Things
little weird.
can
It's a little
happen.
creepy. Yeah.
It is a little creepy. I have a couple of things on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Like I have, so one of the singles off of my project Gleefully, I had put on YouTube as a video single, like back in April, kind of just like letting people know, hey, I'm dropping a project later this year. So you can actually find Gleefully on YouTube under Syrin. I have another song, Inevitable, on YouTube. Music videos are coming. More music videos are coming. So
Do you like doing the music videos?
I do. It's
How's that
fun.
different than actually recording the song?
So recording the song, I would say that I'm more, when I'm in the studio, I'm really going off of obviously what I've written, what I'm feeling in the moment, and it's all kind of just like one big synchronization of how everything like comes together at the same time. Whereas in a video, it's fun. You're open to like trying all these different things and new ideas and different characters, and like if you have a vision and if you have a really good videographer, you can get that vision out. So I am excited for these next few music videos.
So you picked Gleefully. So first of all, the tape is called 5706, right?
The tape is called 5706 or 5706, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever's easiest for the brain matter. So you said you picked Gleefully. I felt like when I was listening to it, it was like Come Closer and Gleefully kind of blended, so it was like part 2 of that song. Is that something that I made up, or is that kind of how that's supposed to
So
work?
there's like 3 songs on there specifically. So it's 5 tracks, and there's 3 songs specifically that I made kind of sound similar, which was Gleefully,
Yeah.
Come Closer, Time Don't Stop. And those were all produced by Toxic. And Toxic knows my voice and knows that I like a peculiar sound for beat production.
Yeah.
And it's more of that kind of like wavy, vibey,
Like
soul
I
sound.
definitely like I understand why House of Blues Part 2. Like I don't know where Part 1 is, but I definitely know why Part 2
We can
is the
get on
first
that.
one
Yeah.
on the tape. But the songs produced by Toxic, I feel like that's the line that the tape goes through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the other songs like go through the wave, but that's like the constant line.
So those would be like definitely my consistent sounds. And House of Blues Part 2, I wanted to add more of that jazzy, bluesy sound, which definitely has influenced my music a lot. And then same with Daddy Issues is kind of, it's a mix between like hip hop and neo soul. I'm singing, but then I have like a little flow part on my second verse. So same with Come Closer. Like I like
You're
adding.
talking about on Daddy Issues, right?
Yeah,
I
Daddy
did like
Issues.
that one. I did like how the verses kind of went into it from the chorus.
Yeah, it's different.
What's the bridge? Is the bridge before the chorus or after the chorus?
The bridge is after the chorus, after Daddy Issues, and I'm just like, crazy how I spank for me, see? So that would
Okay,
be
so
the
that's
bridge.
what the bridge is.
And
Okay.
then the next verse is when I start kind of like rhyming.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a bridge was. I always thought that was like the hype up part.
A
But
bridge is kind of like the overlay between, like if you have a hook or chorus or verse, it's something that like bridges the gap between those two, so you don't have to repeat it like constantly.
yeah, you don't have to repeat the
Yeah.
hook again and
Yeah.
again. I mean, some people do now, but maybe they can use
I
a
try
bridge.
not to. Yeah.
But sometimes it's easier.
It's
I
so
don't want to say it's easier. Sometimes it's just, it helps you retain it.
No,
retain the message.
it's really easy. It's definitely easy to repeat things. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
I'm just really peculiar about how I format my music.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
in
it's your message.
songwriting. Yeah. It's just poetry. And then you just kind of like put it down and make a song.
So did you write a whole bunch of poems when you were a kid, and then you're like, eventually I gotta start writing longer poems and saying them out loud?
Yeah, so I always loved English class. Like ever since I was a little girl, I loved when we would like write things in class.
You
And
like cursive?
I still know how to write cursive, yeah.
Me and my neighbor at work are probably the only ones I ever see writing cursive.
Yeah, actually, I loved learning cursive. So I loved writing, I loved English, I loved literature, and then I love reading. I'm a little bit of a nerd, I'm not gonna lie.
It's life.
And then I started getting into poetry around like middle school,
Mhm.
and then in like 7th grade, actually had won the had been entered into the poetry contest. And then after that, I was like, I really love writing.
Like
Like,
you were entered, like somebody else had to put you in?
no. So like a teacher puts you in for the
Oh,
district,
okay.
and then I ended up getting in the district poetry book.
It's like one of those where they're like, look, everybody write a poem and I'll pick the best one kind of thing?
Yeah, and so I actually still have it. It's somewhere in like my room. So then I had got entered into the poetry book. Like I had won something. I had to go speak. I had to go like do a spoken word on it. And then after that, I realized like I really enjoy writing. In high school, I always did really great. I took like AP writing classes because like I just loved it. And then I really wasn't going to continue in it. Like, I was in college for a little bit, but writing wasn't my major.
Yeah.
And singing had always been something that, like, it had always been there in my life. I come from, like, a really musically inclined family. Like, everyone, we just, like, it was normal to play an instrument growing up in my family or sing. So it was kind of just like, oh, it's there. But I didn't, like, fall in love with it until, like, a couple
did you
years
play?
ago. So I grew up, my mom like forced all of us to take piano lessons, but I ended up like falling in love with it. So
do you still know how to play?
I still know how to play. Like every now and again, I don't. You know what? I'm not as good as I used to be. I used to be able to play, like church hymn books and like classical music, like Debussy.
I used to be able to get it as long as it was right there on the sheet. I could motherfucking play that, but now the only thing I can remember is the Train song.
Yeah.
That's the name, the Train song. It's not even something nice. It's not
That's
green
so
sleeves,
funny.
it's
I'm
not,
the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not as good as I used to be, but it definitely helped me, like, learn notes and keys, and it's helped with my singing a lot. And so I played that. I still jump on the piano every now and again. I played flute for, like, 2 or 3 years in middle school.
The flute?
The flute. And then I played clarinet for, like, 1 year in elementary.
You tired of the flute?
That was before the flute. I hated the clarinet.
What's the difference?
The flute, okay, so clarinet, it's more of like, it's more intense, like it sits under your tooth, and then there's like this wood piece that goes into this, like this little hole, and that's how the air comes out of it, but you have to like really push hard.
I remember in my school they had everybody like blowing all the wind instruments, like 20 kids all just like passing around like the clarinet and the bassoon.
I
and all
remember that.
kind of
If you think about that, that's kind of gross.
That's nasty, huh? That's real nasty. You don't know what's going on with these kids. Yeah.
Damn, gross. And then I remember I hated it because like I could never push my air out hard enough for the clarinet, and the flute was so much easier. Like,
does it always sound like Squidward?
No. No. I was actually really good at the flute. Like, I was, so in band, there was like chair 1 and chair 2. Those are like the best chairs. Okay, I was always, okay, there's this girl that I went to middle school with, Renee. Renee, I love you, shout out Renee. She was like this really intelligent, talented Romanian.
Don't hype her up. Say what it is. You were
No, we were friends. She was this really cool, like, Romanian chick, but she was so good. She was always chair 1, and I was always chair 2. Like
clarinet.
No, with flute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like, so I hated the clarinet. I ended up really loving flute. I was always chair 2. It's okay.
Y'all was rivals.
Yeah, we were friends, but we'd always like, oh, let's see who can like do it better.
That's a rival. Yeah.
But. No, so yeah, I grew up playing piano, singing, I played the flute. I played the bass for like a year. I don't really remember much about it. I know it's one of the easiest instruments though that I've ever learned in my life. I kind of want to get back
It's easy
into
on
it.
Rock Band, so.
Yeah, I kind of want to get, like, I want to get back into it. I don't really play guitar. I know how to play like a song or two on guitar. But my sister plays guitar. And
I had a keyboard, but it broke when I was in college. Broke the day after my girlfriend broke up with me. Yeah, it was a bad day.
That's a bad day.
My bong broke too. Yeah.
So your girlfriend, your keyboard broke, and your bong?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I just took it to Instagram.
Am I allowed to cuss on this?
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay, I was like...
Yeah, I took it to Instagram. We got like 3 likes on it. I was like, damn, this is a bad day. This is a bad fucking day. But yeah, I always wish I would have kept going too. If I ever have kids, I'm gonna be like, look, just come on. Just
yeah,
keep
if
going.
I have kids, I mean, I might force them. I don't know. Who knows? I might not. But just so that learning an instrument, it teaches you
Discipline,
patience, a lot of things. So I think it's important. Yeah.
Do you ever have any weird teachers?
No.
I had a weird teacher. She had a cat that I hated that cat, but that's getting distracted. All right, so we're getting back to 5706, right?
Yes.
Okay. So where'd that number come from? Street?
That is actually the address of where I grew up for like 14 years of my life. So it's 5706 North 43rd Lane on the west side of Phoenix. So I was born and then I was raised in that. It was like a 3-bedroom townhouse. So it wasn't like a house, it was a townhouse.
That ever get to you? Like as a kid?
All the time. Because there were so many of us.
Yeah.
I have a lot of siblings. So it was just like that house holds a lot of memories for me, like good and bad.
Yeah. Well, you're a kid. It's like, you know, things are outside your control and things are as good as they're going to be because the people are trying the hardest. But still, like, you're a kid, so you're like, you don't understand and you're just kind of mad at some things.
No, that's exactly why I called this tape 5706 because, yeah, I was there from when I was a baby literally until I was 14.
Yeah.
And then we had moved right before I started high school. And I think that as I look back, the experiences that I went through living in that place for like such a significant time of my life, I kind of saw things tie into what I was dealing with, like, in my present day. And I'm like, well, I know that the environment that you're raised in, like, it does affect you later on as you get into, like, young adulthood. So,
And I feel like that goes into your song House of Blues
It
part
does.
2. It's just look, I feel like that's a real, like, look, you gotta acknowledge the shit that's going on in my life, but not hold me back for that kind of shit. Like, just understand.
So it was a lot of the things that I witnessed as a kid and growing up, even after I moved out of that house, it did affect me subconsciously. It did still kind of, like, linger on with me. Writing this project was very therapeutic, but really hard at the same time. Because I was, like, letting go and really, like, putting it down on paper. Like, I was letting go and just, like, letting things just be, you know? Like, I can't control the past. And it was, like, that place was my House of Blues. And part 1, actually, it's not called part 1. The part 1 is just called House of Blues.
Yeah.
And that is on, there's a local rapper here. His name is 4nthem the Good Cat. He has 3 mixtapes out, and that was on his first mixtape, 9. And that song, the first House of Blues, was, like, the first song I ever recorded.
Anthem's on that song, right?
Yeah, and Anthem and Toxic.
Before.
Because the 3 of us were on the original.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
I was like, where did I see that name before? It was recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's on the project. So I kind of... What I did was House of Blues, the first one that was on Anthem's mixtape, 9. It was the first song I had ever recorded. Like, it was my first experience ever releasing a song, recording a song, anything after that. And it was his experiences that he went through in, like, his House of Blues and what that was. And then Toxic was on it. Then after that, after I dropped that song, I realized, like, I always knew that I wanted to do something artistic, whether it was dancing, act. I realized, like, no, like, I really love making music. Like, I want to continue doing this forever. And so with this project dropping, I wanted to pay homage to my first track that I had ever recorded, which was House of Blues. I wanted to pay homage to Anthem and Toxic because they're a big part of, like, my growing process these past 2 years as an artist, and because I wanted people to, like, hear what my House of Blues was, you know?
Yeah.
So
I like it as an intro song. I was stuck in traffic when I was listening to it. Yeah.
People have been really responding to that song really well. It actually just hit a K today.
I think all of yours are pretty constant for their numbers, so it's like when someone's listening to it, it looks like they're listening to the whole thing.
Yeah, this is my first project, so I really, like, I wasn't sure of how... I didn't really have an expectation. Like, I'm like, it could flop. Like, no one could listen to it, or people could listen to it. I'm not too sure. But the response so far, I've been pleased with.
I think that's a good mindset to have.
Yeah.
Just put it out there. Like, maybe people will listen to it, maybe they won't.
Yeah, I didn't want to go in like, oh my God, I want these numbers, and if people then I'm going to... No.
I don't think that's healthy.
Me either. And I just... Because I knew it was, like, it's my first project. If it was my second or third, maybe I'd have, like, an expectation, you know?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I gotta...
You want to be better than last
Yeah,
time.
you want to be better and beat the numbers or whatever from before. Because it's my first one, I was like, honestly, I just wanted people to hear Syrin, like, as an artist and, like, what I have to say, because I've only ever been featured on tracks. Like, I was always asked to be on, like, local musicians and rappers. Can you hop on this hook? Can you hop on this verse? Can you do some ad-libs? And I was like... Yeah, sure, like, but with this project dropping, I was like, I really want people to hear, like, I know it's short, but in a short time span, hear my story. Yeah. And, like, what I have to say.
Hey, you're never going to hear a complaint from me for, like, a short mixtape. Like, Currency, he drops EPs, like, 5, 6, 7 songs,
Currency's
and
cool.
I love it, every time. I just heard Chris Brown's dropping an album with 45 songs on it. It's like, well, what the fuck you gonna do with that? What the fuck you gonna do? I can't.
45?
It's like when you got 12 of them, I can't even listen to all of them. Like, I'll listen to them all, but I can't keep replaying them all.
45 is a lot.
45 is.
I think it's a little too much.
Yeah. I can listen to. If I'm in the mood, I can listen to your 12-song album anytime. Like, if I'm working out, bam, that's an hour right there. That's an hour. But 45 songs, that's a day.
Damn. That's very true.
But as far as the mixtapes are going, just, not even thinking about the reaction, just trying to get it out there, and then seeing what the reaction is. I think that's pretty good, especially for your first couple mixtapes. I looked yesterday or maybe 2 days ago, because it was Gucci Mane's wedding. It's like, how many mixtapes has Gucci Mane dropped? 70, I think it was 78. He has 78 mixtapes.
78?
Like 78. It was over 75. I Googled it. Yeah. And
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say his wedding. that wedding cake and the sword.
I saw that. I was like, this motherfucker got a sword. He's beating me on so many levels with my life. I'm like, God damn, man.
This man was not playing, but damn, that's crazy.
I love the new Gucci Mane. This motherfucker looks so happy all the time.
He looks happy and healthy.
Every picture,
and
exactly.
I mean, I'm for it. Like, he's probably not living the lifestyle he was before, which was like super dark and crazy.
Yeah, I looked up 2009 Gucci Mane. After I looked that up, I was like, yeah, he done came a long way.
I'm all for people's glow ups and just becoming better in life. But yeah, so yeah, this EP was really small. I'm already writing my next project, so I'm already like in the works for that. I don't know when it's gonna drop, but I want that one to be a mixtape so I can put more tracks. I want like a good like 9 to 12. I haven't decided, but
do you think you're gonna drop a single for that one?
I think I'm gonna drop a couple singles for that one. That's gonna be probably later on in like 2018.
I think that's a good idea.
I'm gonna let this one ride out for a while and kind of see what happens, and
definitely you don't want to like dilute it.
Yeah, like drop the videos, like, and then the next one though, I do know the title for that one.
Oh, don't tell nobody though.
I'm not.
Keep that one
to
close.
be announced.
Yeah.
But it is gonna go with the theme of numbers.
Okay, so you thinking numbers? Why? Why numbers? Because numbers can't lie, or what's going on with the number thing?
Numbers are infinite.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Also,
that was one of those things you're like, I could go on forever on that one, but let me stop.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I could get into that topic heavily. Like, I could get all spiritual and universal and scientific, but we can move on. But, because that has nothing to do with music. No, numbers are infinite, and that's why I do like using the number concept, because I feel like as people and as artists, we are infinitely able to grow and just constantly cultivate ourselves into being better. Also, I'm gonna stick with the theme of houses that I've lived.
Yeah.
And addresses, but like not every single one. You know what I'm saying? I've moved around a lot. It's gonna be more of
the impactful ones.
The impactful ones. Sorry,
yeah.
the impactful ones. So yeah, to be announced. I'm not gonna tell anyone the title for the next one, but it is gonna stick with like the number theme, and that should be way later next year. But it's been cool.
Yeah. Have you been you got a show coming up on Saturday, I saw.
I do. So I have a free show coming. It's a free house show / party. Coming up this Saturday with, the lineup is really cool. I don't know, have you heard of 20xPounds?
Yeah. I interviewed Pariah Pete.
You did?
I see that dude. Yeah.
Pariah?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if I can say this. Never mind.
He's cool people.
Yeah. We've all been creating music together. That I can say, which is exciting. So the 20xPounds is he is cool people. I totally respect the artists out here. I love the artists out here. So 20xPounds is gonna be on the lineup. You know, Splash Fuego, Catman's Q, me, Pat Kanji. Oh, there's a couple other people that
okay, so it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be from like 9 to like 2 or something like
2
that?
or 3 a.m.
Okay.
So it's really cool. The space is great. We already like set up. We've been rehearsing. And then I have a show on November 2nd that I'm going to be promoting soon. I have a lot of shows.
That is a Thursday. I know that because my birthday's the 4th.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. You know, it's like when your like birthday's coming up and you're like just looking at it like.
Are you a Scorpio?
Scorpio.
You're a Scorpio.
I think they switched it, but I'm always going to be a Scorpio.
I'm Taurus gang.
Okay, so you're like, what, towards the middle or something like that? I think I had a friend that was like born on like the 11th or something like that.
I am May 15th.
Oh shit, I'm wrong. Wait. What am I thinking? I don't know. I gotta open a book or something.
It's actually, can I take this off? It's getting hot.
Yeah,
okay.
you're all good.
I was like, sweating because of that light. Not this one.
Have you been making okay. How many artists have you been making songs with as far as different groups? So I guess we'll go group wise. So sounds like you've known 20 Pounds. I don't know if there's music yet, but there could possibly
There's
be music
not.
in the
I mean,
future.
I'm on Jalopy Bungus's mixtape, who's from 20 Pounds.
Yeah, I remember Pariah put me onto that dude. He dropped his name. I was like, I know I've seen that before.
That you definitely need to listen to that project. It's a good one.
I listened to a couple of songs. I listened to the thing all the way through.
What was I gonna say?
Were you in that Rushmore video?
I was.
You were?
I made like a tiny appearance.
Hey,
I
it
was
looks
just
like you
kinda
threw
like-
a whole bunch of people up in there.
He did. He threw a lot of local artists. He threw in Products of Infamy. He threw in Photographer. He threw in Splash, Mints, Unorthodox, Tedioso.
People just doing things.
Yeah, just a lot of local artists were in that video. That was really cool. I love doing collaborations. So I used to be in, I don't know if you've heard of Products of Infamy. They're a hip hop collective out here.
I might have seen them at Hip Hop Day last year.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but they, Toxic, Anthem, and I don't know if you've heard of Huey Hums. He's a local.
I've seen the name, but I haven't heard any of his music.
So that is a really big hip hop collective out here. I used to be part of it. That was the first group of people I ever started collaborating with.
Helped you dive into the music.
Oh, yeah, I will forever give them credit and credit them for where I'm at now. If it wasn't for 4nthem, I don't even think I would be doing this.
Sometimes you just gotta see people be devoted to something to see that it's like, look, anybody.
Yeah, and
as long as they
so
try.
after 4nthem, because there's a bunch of different members in 4nthem, so I collaborated on a few different of the guys' tracks, and I would just repost my features on SoundCloud, and that's kind of what people heard. I dropped a couple Bob Marley covers, and so people had an idea, and then after that I started collaborating with I've collaborated with he's a local pop singer, Ben, and a local rapper, David Desta, 4nthem, Anthem, Jalopy Bungus. These are just off the top of my head. J Sound.
When did you start making the music? When did you start seriously making music
Literally
to you?
2 years ago around this time.
Oh, okay. So it's a nice little anniversary kind of thing.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to drop the project around this time. So it was. I started. I think I had ever first recorded in the end of November, but I had met 4nthem going to jams and ciphers and battles. There's actually a really, really, really big hip hop freestyling scene out here, b-boys and poppers, and it's really true to the hip hop culture. So I met all of them there, and at first they just were my homies. Yeah, they dance, they make music. I was oh, cool. And then they had kind of heard me put a snippet on Instagram, and Anthem asked me record House of Blues, and I was oh, I've never recorded. He's like, come through to the studio. Toxic will be here. Everyone will be here. I was okay.
You're do I have to bring you anything?
I was so nervous. I remember at the time one of my girlfriends came with me, and because I did not want to go alone, I called her. I was come with me to the studio. And and so I remember that day I was so nervous. I think I sounded like shit low key. I think we didn't get the take for House of Blues until then another studio session later.
Yeah.
So it was around this time 2 years ago, with 4nthem, and then after that I just kind of I continued. I just kind of continued, and then I left, and then a year ago, no hate or anything, all love. I was just kind of I kind of just want to.
Did you go to the hip hop show last year?
I didn't.
Are you gonna go this year?
Yeah, I got my ticket.
I think I started my show around 2 years ago in December. Damon Logan was the first person I interviewed. It was December something in 2015. Yeah. 15.
Yeah, it was 2015 around this. It was literally around the fall winter time, and then that's when I started writing, recording, and then I branched out and started collaborating, like I said, with other artists, and then I was gonna take a sip and I put down. And then I kind of, and then 4them's like my family. A lot of the boys in there, like my older brothers, I carried them for like a lot. But then I was kind of just like, as a singer, I was like kind of like, I don't really want to like be under a collective.
Yeah.
So that people can like hear me more, you know? Just like as an artist, as a singer, as a writer.
Like Kid Cudi. He's like, look, I'm more than just hooks. It's like, I gotta go.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even anything. It was just kind of like, it was my own thing. It was so hard for me to focus because I loved like working on the boy stuff. Like I was just like, oh, this is so cool. That I forget. I'm like, oh shit, like I'm an artist too.
Yeah.
So
getting like too invested in help.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like I don't know. Sometimes you get caught up in a situation where you're so used to helping other people that you're kind of falling back.
So I just took a step back, honestly, just for myself to figure out like what I wanted to do with my sound and creatively.
They were cool with it, huh?
Oh yeah, they're like that's
do
why.
What you gotta do.
Yeah, that's why like Frescoes and Products of Infamy. He's a producer and b-boy and rapper, and he produced House of Blues Part 2. He produced House of Blues Part 2 and Toxics and 4nthem. Like they're also my fam. Like they completely understood. So it gave me time and space to figure out like I didn't even at the time I was writing music. This was last year in 2016, but I didn't know if I wanted to drop a project. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my sound. I was really confused. So taking that step back and kind of like figuring out my artistry and like just giving myself some space, it helped me grow. And then I realized like, oh, I do want to drop something. Okay, well, what tracks do you want? Okay, well, let's figure that out. And that's kind of how the process started. I would say end of 2016, beginning of 2017.
All right. Well, I got a question. One more question.
Yes.
Syrin, where'd the name come from?
Syrin.
Does it have something to do with sirens outside the house?
That's my real name.
Oh, your real name's Syrin.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh.
That is not my real name. Some people know my real name, some people don't. I'm not gonna say it. But Syrin came from Greek mythology. I'm really obsessed with Greek mythology, and there were the...
Oh yeah, I've taken a bunch of mythology.
Yeah,
classes.
so there were the Syrin water
Yep.
mermaids that would like kind of come out, and like while the what are they called?
Like the
sailors, they'd go out at sea, and then the sirens would kind of just like come out and sing to them and lure them in. Okay, it gets kind of weird. They like lure them in, snatch their souls, and kill them and eat them.
They like drag them underwater.
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay, but
you know mermaids are manatees, right? You know they're just fucking manatees, right?
No.
Yeah, if you've ever seen like a walrus or a manatee pussy, it looks just like a human. And these sailors is out there months at a time.
You know what? Like, I know this is really weird, but like, I think deep down inside, maybe this is just like the child in me. Like, maybe mermaids are real.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something weird about manatees.
No, but no. So that's kind of where it came from. Like, I interpreted it though as like, okay, let me put a spin on it, and I want to lure people in though to hear my music. So that's kind of where Syrin came from. And also, like a siren, like it's wailing, it's loud, it catches people's attention.
My first thought was the Greek mythology thing. Only because
that makes me happy.
They're
like,
sitting there on the rock and shit like that, you know.
Some people really are just like, oh, like a siren, like a police siren. I'm like, no, like Greek mythology. And then they're like, oh. Or I have to explain it. But it's also an acronym.
Yeah. So
Syrin is short for spirit, you're righteous in nature.
Okay.
So I kind of just like a double, like little meaning.
Been meditating lately, huh?
I'm a pretty spiritual person. Yeah, I've been getting into yoga the past like 5 months. I do meditate. I pray. I just I do feel like nature is something that we have to respect, and like I think it's a gift. So for my name, I just wanted it. I feel like that's what my music is. I want my music to represent spirit, you're righteous in nature. So just like spirit, you're recognized like in this universe, and I just want my art to represent that, because nature is nature. You can sit in nature and you can be happy, you can be sad, it can make you love, it can make you think, and that's my art. You know, I want people to feel things, and I want people to. I just want people to get the message of overall just like a loving energy.
I know what you're talking about. It's like when you're out there in nature. I just my friends from Tucson, they've gone camping like every year for the last 7 years or something like that. I've known them for 6, and this year I let them convince me to go. And I mean the trip. I mean, it was a trip. But
did you trip?
I do know, yeah, I did.
On acid?
Yeah.
Or shrooms?
I did acid.
Ooh.
It was crazy.
I had my fun with acid.
Yeah.
It's fun.
But I was just like, I understand what you mean. When you're just out in nature and you're just like, this is natural. This is how it's supposed to be.
It's how it's supposed to be. It really does, like, it really makes you sit and be still and be quiet and like just kind of reflect.
I was fighting it because everybody that was with me, they were like kind of just sitting down in the grass and stuff. I'm like, come on, man, black people don't sit in the grass. Don't make me sit in the grass. And I was fighting it the whole time. I was like, I ain't trying to get itchy. And I sat down in the grass, and it was just like, I was instantly just like with nature, and I was just like kind of just sitting, just looking at shit, just like the wind was blowing, all the like yellow trees and shit like that.
Yeah, yellow is definitely my favorite color. So I think as human beings, that's how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be still and quiet and peaceful and reflect. And I think nature is a beautiful place to do that, whether it be the mountains, the ocean, whatever, the forest.
Wherever's best for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't think we're going to get much better than that. So really quick, tell them where to find you one more time.
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter and Instagram under Syrin Sings, Syrin Sings. That's my @name. And then you can just find me on SoundCloud on Syrin, all capitalized, Syrin. And YouTube under Syrin. Anywhere under Syrin or Syrin Sings, basically.
Most people don't type. So I do put all that in the description.
Okay,
I don't know
cool.
if people even look in the description, but I always put the intro song, the album or mixtape, and then I put their Twitter there. So
look down.
Don't be lazy and just look.
The description for my shit, so you can hear it. I would really appreciate it. Thank you, dude, for having me, and this was a really great interview.
Hopefully next year we can do a follow-up.
Yeah, go listen to my project.
Another anniversary. All right, so this is AZ126, and we're signing out.